Is Terraform preferred over CDK? That's a great question, John Henry. Thank you for that. I also teach the AWS CDK classes. So just to give you an idea of coding differences, so let's look at this example of just deploying an S3 bucket, right? We've got what? 33 lines of code to deploy a bucket. That's it. Okay. So since you asked, let's go and look at deploying. Let's use the Python one because that's even simpler code. So here is deploying a bucket with Python. We could do this with Java. We could do this with .NET technically today. Mostly Python and JavaScript are used because Node is typically the way that we would do that, or here in Python. All right, so here's the equivalent in CDK of deploying a file to a bucket. First off, I have to import all of the Python libraries, and it's even worse if I'm working in JavaScript. I have to set up the clients. I have to set up my app stack because this is going to use CloudFormation to do that, which is essentially creating a stack on AWS. And by the way, you pay for that being maintained and run every time. It's then going to push out the bucket. So there's the bucket code. We then need to move the data. So down here, this is essentially where we're going to define the files to upload. I have a bunch of them here that are being uploaded. And then I need to run the code in order to set that up, which is back here. So we probably have about 110, 150 lines of code here just for deploying the bucket. So I think that, should give you a kind of the difference between them. I'm happy to do both of them, to train people in both of them, because there's different needs, right? So in the case of using something like the CDK, the idea is that this is something that I want to set up and have run over and over and over again. Maybe I'm going to do it on a schedule. Maybe I'm going to have it triggered by something going in the bucket. In the case of Terraform, I'm setting up the bucket and I'm pushing the file, but I'm not really doing anything additional to that. I would need to set up Lambda functions that would then look for my bucket and would do the same thing, trigger or schedule the buckets to get updated. So there's different reasons for using a CDK approach than using the Terraform approach. Does that answer your question? That was kind of the idea behind it overall, is that there are different reasons for choosing between them. I hope that answers your question, John.